What's up, YouTube? What's going on? So this video gonna be about Maurice Cheeks versus Tony Parker, battle of point guards. You know, it's funny how when you go look these things up of how they compare to one another. Now, Parker had him beat as far as career total points, but rebounds and steals is Maurice Cheeks. It's interesting. Their numbers aren't that far off from one another. Now, Parker played 3 more years. Cheeks was the better defender. Parker scored more. But when you get down to the totality of everything else, All-Star games were fairly close. It's interesting when I do this little parable about how this obviously 4-1 in terms of winning chips. Parker went to 5. Cheeks went to about 3 or 4. So, and it was a different era with the 2 out of 3, and the whole thing's changed from the eras. But when I look at their totality, they are pretty close. They're not, sometimes when you look at certain things, you thinking that this is blowout, this is one-sided affair. It's not. It's not really that one-sided. I find it ironically because I'm looking at them because they both played with great perimeter players or guys that were, they play. Parker got to play with Robinson and Duncan. And of course, Maurice Cheeks got to play with Dr. J and Moses Malone. So it's interesting when you size that up. But when I look at it in totality, it's interesting when I look at it because then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm looking at the numbers crunch. Who was the better player? Who was the more intriguing player? It's aside from career total points and the postseason points, but everything else statistically is almost a wash. And you might not think about it when you think about Maurice Cheeks because the way he was with pumping the ball and how he's moved around. Because Parker came from an era where the point guard got to score a little bit more with the 3 ball. Obviously now if you play point and you're a tweener, you do more. But at that time, it wasn't the case. But it's a different hit right now. So looking at that, that it's an interesting debate and argument where we come down with it. So I'm like, oh wow, this is it's interesting. I don't even think about it like that until I see it, and then I'm thinking, wow, this is an interesting hit. This really has a distinctive flavor for where it's like, how do you base this? Where do we go?